Alright, my zillions, we got the review of the Neca Godzilla, King of the Monsters Godzilla 2019 here. And it's mostly good. I'll say that. It's mostly good. There are some gripes, and you're gonna have to weigh it on your own, and you're gonna have to, like, really look at your figures and decide what's best for you. I can only tell you what I'm thinking here about my own figure, and I've seen a lot of different results here. As will happen in a production run, you're gonna get different issues and different levels of QC issues, unfortunately. But I mean, I guess that was the same thing. But I mostly like this guy. He is definitely a reuse of the 2014, not completely. There are a lot of new things here, as obviously you can tell, starting with the paint job. It is, you know, brand spanking new paint job. Very different, much lighter color here. It'll be interesting. We've seen it in the, you know, in the trailers and stuff, but when you're actually watching the movie, I think it feels a little bit different. So let's stop talking here and let's start getting into it. Alright, I want to get articulation out of the way here. You got the jaw joint, you got a head joint. I don't think the tongue moves inside there. No, it's pretty stiff. Then you got one joint in his neck here, but you're not going to get too much movement out of that. The shoulder joints do move in and out. As you can see, you have a hinged elbow. You have a hinged hand here and a swivel. And you can swivel the elbows as well. So obviously you could swivel the shoulders. So you got that going on. Then you got a joint in the middle. Pretty much a swivel there. Can get a little bit back and forth, but not much. The legs swivel outwards at the hips. The knees, I get a swivel, like on a ball joint. I see a hinge in there, but I am not getting much going on there. And then the feet move around a little bit as well. So, but we do have a massively articulated tail with one joint and 2 and 3 and 4, 5. I think there's even maybe one in the middle there. No, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of articulation on the tail that I have found there. Pretty good. And it, you know, it doesn't really stay completely up. I don't know if we really need it to, but, you know, it does that. That's just to note. It doesn't bother me, but, you know, if you wanted to know. So the articulation is okay. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Neca Godzillas pretty much have pretty standard range of articulation. You know what I'm saying? Like, it works for Godzilla, so I don't mind it at all. So let's take a look at Godzilla here. And let's start out with the head, because the head is where I have any real issue here. Now, from here, the eyes look fine. On this side, he's looking down, but it looks fine. It's like when you look at him from the front, obviously one eye's looking down and one eye is not. So, I said this in my unboxing, and I'll say it again. For me, it's not that big of a deal, because I get 2 for the price of 1 here. I get a figure where Godzilla is looking down, on this way, and a figure where he's looking straight ahead, over here. If you look at him from the front, it doesn't look quite right, obviously. But it could be worse. Like, the eye could be, this messed up eye, which I consider this one the messed up eye, could be looking, like, to the back, or, like, really bad lead to the front. You know what I'm saying? It's perfectly in the middle of the pupil, but looking down. And this one is just perfectly in the middle. So that's good. I don't mind that, honestly. Like, I really don't. Because, you know, as someone that likes to take pictures, I really do get two different views here. I know it sounds like I'm just trying to spin it, but, like, I really have no reason to do that, you know, like, and just justify my own money. And that's all I'm doing, is justifying it to myself because I spent the money. So yeah, I mean, it could be viewed as a problem, but I mean, also, and I also said this on my thing, I don't put them on my shelf like this. Why would you? Like, that doesn't look like anything. That doesn't look, even if the eyes were right, that doesn't look like a Godzilla. For me, on my shelf, all my Godzillas look like this. Actually, they actually pretty much are looking this way. With some looking this way too. So, because I like to look at the dorsal fins, you know, like, that is my thing. But the eyes are painted well. They look really nice. Gotta say, there's a little bit of red in them. So I don't mind. They look good. I have very little issue. Would I like them to be the same? Sure. I'll definitely say that. But it works fine. Now, the mouth. It's not terrible, but it looks a little, there's something that looks odd in there. You know, like, he definitely has a little bit of, it's not really too much of an overbite, actually. But I feel like the teeth look weird. Like, the gap in between these two, you know, this back tooth and that tooth, looks a little odd to me. I mean, I get it on both sides, but it does look a little odd. The rest of the mouth, it's all actually painted pretty decently. It's not bad. The tongue is painted good, you know. There's a little bit of that pink on the bottom. You see that? From the tongue on the teeth. But, it's alright. It's like a peach, actually. It's almost like a peach. It's okay. The rest of the head looks pretty good. Sculpt is pretty nice. I'm not going to get into exactly what, you know, is what from the 2014 until later. I'm just going to tell you right now, this does look really nice. I really like this, you know, dry brushing over it, this wash, whatever it is. You know, it looks really cool. It gives it a nice dusty look. So throughout, it looks pretty awesome. I wish they did it in the joints because that kind of stands out to me. But overall, you know, it's a beautiful sculpt, and I gotta say, I mean, like I said, we'll look at the 2014 with this shortly. But, you know, what you get here is you actually see a lot of the sculpt that you didn't see before. So I don't mind it because the sculpt was there, and it's really, really nice. And, you know, all these highlights really bring it out. I like the green fingernails and toenails. That looks good. These feet look pretty cool. These feet are brand new, I can tell you that right now. And that looks very, very nice. I dig him. So proportion-wise, I think he looks pretty decent. Not bad at all. Again, this tail is awesome. We saw, like, in the articulation section, lots of segments, but it looks beautiful. Really nicely done. And then the dorsal fins are the definite highlight here. Beautifully done. I'm so glad, and I can't wait for the explanation, but I'm so glad that they made him have dorsal fins that's, you know, more Godzilla-like now. Really, really nicely done here by Neca too. So, beautiful sculpt. I like the wash again. It looks fantastic, guys. Fantastic. So that yellow that's going over there, or beigeish yellow, whatever it is. Ooh, he wants to fall down. Looks really good. Really makes this figure stand out. Really makes him look dirty, and I like that. So overall, I think the sculpt and paint do look really good. I mean, let's look at it up and down once again. Lots of awesome wrinkles and scales and all of that jazz. Just good stuff here, guys. Look at all this work in these. They look like woodcuts. So good. So well done. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Yeah, it looks great. Again, it makes all of the sculpts really stand out. The little wee looks, good too. It just, because there's sculpt work on there, and there's sculpt work everywhere. And you could really see it when you put like this kind of wash over it. Everything just pops. So it's very nice to look at, for sure. Unless you don't like the colors, I just think it works. It really, really works for me. Good job there. And for some size comparisons, here he is with the SH Monster Arts G62 and the NECA G62, which is pretty awesome. The Bandai Movie Monster Series G17? Or was this 18? Whatever. It's the one with the lit up back. Here's with the Reborn Killer Queen, SH Figure Arts Ultraman Zero, Mezco Kong, a Little Jax 2019, Jax Mothra, my pal Jax Rodan, and I really like how these two go together as far as paint schemes go. They're really, really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing NECA's Rodan, but man, I still really love this Jax. It's one of my favorite figures of the year. Jax Ghidorah, which is big but entirely too small for this Neca Godzilla. The Movie Monster Series Ghidorah, which is slightly better. I still think Ghidorah is much bigger than this, so you're gonna need the SH Monster Arts or the forthcoming NECA one, because I'm fully invested in the fact that they're gonna reveal that one, whether it's right after the movie or during San Diego Comic-Con. They're doing it. Here he is with the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2014. So you can see the scale there. I like this figure. It caught a lot of flack, but I like it. The Movie Monster Series Godzilla 2019, and this is a really nice figure, guys. Very different. Again, the paint scheme is so different that I really can't wait to see the movie to see exactly where it falls. I feel like, again, there's maybe too much going on here. It might be a little bit too light, but I like it. I do like it. And finally, the Godzilla 2014 from NECA. So, we shall do a little bit of checking out here. Obviously, they resculpted the entire back. That's completely different. The tail is 100% different as well. Do I need to show you that? It is. It's totally different. Oh, I'm losing some light for some reason here. I'm gonna brighten this up a little bit here because this guy's a little dark. But then you get into it. The head is a tad different. As you can see, there's a lot more detail on the new one than there is there. I feel like the bottom jaw is a little bit different as well. The eyes are placed differently there as well, so that's different. But then when you start getting out, this whole part is different than this. The arms do look... I see a lot of the same sculpt in the arms. Are the hands different? The hands are bigger on the new one. I'm having a hard time with these two. Who's that? Kong. It's alright, Kong. So I think the hands are a little bit different. It feels like it. I don't know if the paint is making me think differently, but I feel like the hands are bigger on this new one. Chest looks the same, just the washes making it look different. This bottom piece actually has a few different pieces, and if you see, it is connected to this back piece where the dorsal fins is, so they would have went in and cleaned it up a little bit. It is slightly different. But then the legs, the thighs seem the same to me, and these parts as well. You know, just the paint bringing out all the detail there. I mean, if it's not broke, you know. And then the feet are completely different. And what's funny is the feet on the new ones are a lot bigger than the feet on the old ones. Which is funny because I felt like they were trying to streamline them a little bit in the movie design, and it ends up being a little bit, I guess. So there is some similarities, but the paint job just brings out all the detail on this one, and we always knew this one was a really great sculpt, so it's not that big of a deal, especially when you do get like all this work done in the back and in the tail. The feet are different, you know, like why people complain about, you know, it having some shared parts is beyond me. That's toys, guys. That's toy business in general. You're gonna have that, you know, you want to save money where you can. So, yeah, it's not that big of a deal to me, especially since they pretty much improved upon everything that they did in the 2014 and the 2019. And my final thoughts, it's pretty decent, you know, like, obviously there's a couple of issues, but I've explained it already. Like, I could get over my issues easily, and I can get over them easily at this price point, guys. That's something to really take into it. The price point really makes things a lot more forgivable. You're gonna get QC issues at the highest price point. So at the $20-something price point, it's not the worst. I don't go crazy over a lot of these issues, you know, like, and if I can justify for myself, I'm happy. It's up to you to decide on how you justify things, but you might get a better one, and you might get a worse one. If you get a worse one, I apologize, and if you get a better one, awesome. It is what it is. You're gonna have different levels of good and bad in a production run, and this one I have to say is somewhere in the middle. But the paint job is phenomenal. The new parts, the dorsal fin's amazing. The tail is amazing. I really like the feet, and I think the hands are bigger. So, it looks good. All right, and for the most part, I feel like the head sculpt is pretty nice. All right, guys, and that is my review. I hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, all that jazz. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Lots of stuff, you know, on Instagram. I always post a lot of stuff on Instagram. Buy me a coffee on Coffee if you dig what I do. The link is down below for that. Or buy yourself something cool on eBay, on my eBay shop. So however you want to support the channel, I appreciate. Or just watch my videos. That's the most important part. Alright, and there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out, peeps.